When I was a kid, my father locked my sister and me in the basement for 6 long years, calling us vermin, who didn't deserve to live in the light. He tried to finish what he started by dumping us into an old mine shaft. When I asked my mom why she stood by and let it happen, she just stared into her coffee mug and muttered, "Beds are for those who count." I stayed silent, swallowing my pain. That was 9 years ago. Last week, Mom passed away in a nursing home, her funeral empty. How did I know my father wasn't the kind of dad who cherished his daughters? He kept us caged in the basement, claiming women had no right to sunlight. By the time I broke free, I'd spent 6 years in near-total darkness. Dad treated women like objects he owned. He forced Mom to sleep on the cold kitchen tiles, saying beds were for important people. He wouldn't let my sister Hope and me eat at the table, tossing us scraps to eat off the floor like dogs. When I got my period at 12, he declared me useless and said I needed to be hidden away to conceal my shame. He called us basement vermin and made us cover our faces if we ever came upstairs, claiming our femininity would ruin his sons. When Hope turned 13, he decided we were too old to pollute the house. He'd rigged the basement with heavy locks on the outside, saying, "Women belong below ground like rats. You'll learn to survive without light." He shoved us down the stairs and bolted the door. Mom stood in the kitchen, silent, her spirit crushed long before. The basement was a concrete tomb, a rusty sink, 2 thin mattresses, no windows, just a single bulb Dad controlled from upstairs. He'd flick it on for an hour a day while we ate whatever scraps he tossed down. The rest of the time, we were drowned in darkness. Hope and I clung to each other's hands, terrified of losing one another in the black. The darkness ate away at us. Our eyes burned during that brief hour of light. Our skin turned pale and sickly without the sun. Time blurred, no way to tell day from night. Sometimes Dad would leave the bulb off for days to punish us, laughing when we begged through the door, saying, "Rats don't need light." Once a month, he'd let us upstairs for a quick shower, blindfolded so we couldn't taint his home. Hope's health crumbled. She developed a vitamin D deficiency, her bones weakening until walking hurt. I started having panic attacks in the dark, gasping until I blacked out. Dad called us weak and cut our light time to 30 minutes. After 3 years, Hope got deathly ill, coughing up blood in the dark. I pounded on the door for hours, pleading for help. Dad finally came down, glanced at her, and accused her of faking it. But when seizures hit, even he panicked. He couldn't risk her dying in his basement. He blindfolded us and dragged Hope upstairs, telling Mom to call a nurse friend, not a hospital. The nurse gasped when she saw Hope, demanding to know why a 16-year-old looked like a prisoner of war. Dad lied, saying we had a rare sunlight allergy. She didn't buy it but treated Hope anyway, whispering to me that she'd return. She reported us, and the next day, Child Services stormed the house. Dad tried to block the basement, claiming it was flooded, but they pushed past and found our prison. The investigators were sickened. Our bucket toilet, the scratch marks on the walls where we'd tried to track days, the bloody smears from my desperate pounding. They got us out and rushed us to a hospital. Doctors said we had the malnutrition of captives. Our eyes were so damaged we needed special glasses. Hope's bones were fragile like an old woman's, but we were free. Dad was arrested and Mom was deemed unfit. We went to a foster home filled with sunlight and windows. I thought we were safe, learning to walk in daylight without fear. Hope was getting stronger. Then one night I woke to Dad looming over me. He'd made bail and broken in. "You think you belong up here with real people?" he hissed. "You're vermin, you belong in the dark." He drugged me with something that made my body heavy. I tried to scream, but only a whisper came out. He carried me to his van, where Hope was already unconscious in the back. As he drove, he explained his plan. He'd bought remote land with a deep mine shaft, 60 feet down, he said. "No one will hear you there. No one will find you." He tossed our things down already, some food and water to last a month maybe. After that, we'd starve unless we learned our place. The van stopped on desolate land, the mine shaft's wooden cover visible in the headlights. He dragged Hope out first. She was waking, murmuring my name. He opened the shaft and the darkness below swallowed all sound. "Ladies first," he sneered, tying a rope around Hope to lower her down. Her screams echoed as she descended, growing fainter. He turned to me with another rope. "Your turn, vermin." My fingers clawed at the dirt as he approached, the drugs slowing me to a crawl. Hope's fading screams spurred me to fight. I knocked his hand away as he tried to tie the rope, biting his arm hard when he got close. He slapped me, splitting my lip, but I rolled away from the shaft. He grabbed my ankle, dragging me back. I dug my nails into the ground, scraping my hands raw. The rope tightened around my waist as he prepared to lower me. I threw dirt in his face, making him falter, and worked at the knot with my sluggish fingers. He recovered and slapped my hands away, dragging me to the shaft's edge. My legs dangled over, kicking at empty air. Hope's silence from below was deafening. I twisted, grabbing his shirt, trying to pull him with me if I fell. He pried my fingers off and shoved me backward. My hands found a gnarled root at the edge, and I clung to it. Dad stomped on my fingers, breaking bones. The pain sharpened my senses, cutting through the drug haze. I found a small ledge with my foot and pushed up, spitting blood in his eyes. He reeled back, and I got my elbows onto solid ground. He grabbed the rope again, trying to position me for a clean drop. I went limp, becoming dead weight. He grunted, dragging me, but I rolled, tangling the rope around his legs. He tripped, cursing as I crawled toward the van, hoping to drive for help. He caught me at the bumper, pinning my face to the metal. I grabbed the rope tied to the bumper and yanked, making him stumble. I pulled again, freeing the rope from the van. He stepped on it, reeling me in like a fish. I found a sharp rock and sawed at the rope around my waist. He lunged, grabbing my wrist, but Hope's weak cough from the shaft distracted him. I slashed his arm with the rock and the rope snapped free. I was untethered, but still too drugged to run. Dad grabbed a flashlight, checking the shaft's depth. I crawled toward the van while he was distracted, but he caught me, dragging me back. My hands found another root, and he stomped again, grinding my broken fingers. I held on, screaming, until he pried me loose. He sat beside me, catching his breath, and described how he'd dangle me in the shaft to teach me my place. I used his monologue to let the drugs wear off, flexing my limbs to test my strength. When he lifted me, my legs dangling over the edge, I went limp again, throwing off his balance. I hooked my leg around his knee, making him stumble. I rolled away, but he kicked my ribs, knocking the air from me. I spread my limbs to make moving me harder. He straddled me, pinning me down, his hands going for my throat. I bit his hand, then kneed him hard between the legs. He collapsed, and I crawled away, the drugs fading. He grabbed my ankles, but I twisted, clawing at his face. Under the van, I found a rusty metal shard and slashed at his hands when he reached for me. He backed off, bleeding, and circled the van. I crawled out the other side, using the van for support. We circled like predators, my legs steadier but still weak. He grabbed my arm, but I twisted free, tripping over the loose rope. I looped it around the van's bumpers, creating a tripwire. He fell hard, hitting his head. I grabbed his dropped flashlight and smashed his knee. He screamed, collapsing. He kept crawling toward me, blood trailing behind him. I backed into the shaft's heavy wooden cover, trying to lift it as a shield. It was too heavy, falling back as he neared. I ran to the shaft's edge, using it as a barrier. He lunged, nearly falling in, but caught himself. I threw rocks, slowing him, but he grabbed my ankle as we fell together. His hands found my throat again. I kneed his injured knee, breaking free, and crawled to the van. His nose broke when I kicked his face, blood gushing. Inside the van, I locked the doors as he pounded the bloody glass. I found a cell phone in the back, plugged into a charger. He broke the passenger window with a branch, climbing through as I unlocked the phone with a pattern I'd seen him use years ago. I dialed 911, screaming our situation as he grabbed my foot. I smashed a water bottle on his head, the liquid blinding him briefly. He lunged again, and I tangled him in rope, buying time. Sirens finally sounded in the distance. He tried to climb out, but I held him back, both of us collapsing in exhaustion. Police arrived, pulling him out and restraining him. Rescuers descended the shaft, bringing Hope up, alive but battered. At the hospital, my broken fingers were set, and Hope was treated for hypothermia and bruising. We told the police everything, ensuring Dad's permanent imprisonment. Our foster parents fought to keep us, and we stayed, changing our names to Dawn and Sunshine to reclaim our light. Therapy helped us heal, Hope's claustrophobia, my fear of the dark, but we kept our home bright with open windows and countless lamps. Hope became a kindergarten teacher, pouring love into her students. I worked with abuse survivors, turning pain into purpose. We built families, raising our kids in sunlight, free from shame. Dad died in prison, Mom passed alone. We didn't mourn them. Our scars remain, but we live in the light, stronger for it.